everybody, it's John here again, and it is October the 5th, and I had a little varroa mite problem, I thought, and a couple weeks ago I put in some Hop Guard 2 strips. Now I've got them down here where the brood was at, and what I'm wanting to do today is just get back in the hive, go through it and take these strips out if there's any of them left, and just see how much honey stores we've got, and check for a few other little things to get ready to maybe think about getting them closed up for the winter. Right here is what you call Hop Guard 2, and you can see this little cardboard strip here. It has some hops on it, the same stuff they use to make beer, I believe. And what I had to do was open up these hives and make sure that I didn't have a queen there, and I put these strips over the comb, and they were really sticky, and what happens is the bees walk across it, get it on them, and it kills the varroa mites. Now when I did this, the first few days after that, I looked in my little traps underneath, and there was probably at least a couple hundred varroa mites that were dead. And since then, this has been in almost 2 weeks. I rechanged the oil and at the beginning of the week, this week, and there was maybe just about 20 or so varroa mites. So do I feel like this has worked? Yes. I don't see a lot of other signs of varroa at the moment. I'm hoping these bees, since they have are building their own comb, natural comb, they say that sometimes the smaller cell size helps with that varroa. If you recall, I did have varroa here on the drone brood, but I never did find any on the worker bee brood. So maybe that is helping too with the varroa mites. Maybe these bees are a little bit more hygienic, so that too may be a way they're keeping them off of them. So again, this is the Hop Guard 2. I would have to say I like it. It's a little messy to put in. You need to have your rubber gloves on, and like I say, it's a little sticky. You got to watch so you don't get the queen rolled up in it. I did have on this hive maybe about 20 dead bees that the next day out on the ground below, and I'm sure I stuck this to them when I was putting them on them. The other hive had about 100 or so out on the ground, so in reality that's probably not too bad of a kill. The bees didn't seem to mind. I opened up the hives so they had a little bit of ventilation, and anyway they're doing pretty good with it. I'm well pleased with how it turned out. There we go. Moved you around a little bit so you could maybe see a little better with the sun here. I'm getting down here to the last piece of Hop Guard. They wanted you to put the Hop Guard about 3 bars apart from in the brood section. They would have liked it if they say if there's actually no brood in there, but I still had some brood coming on at the time, and I hate to see this, but right here is a hive beetle larvae. You can see him crawling around in there. We're behind the Hop Guard. They couldn't get to the bees, and the hive beetle was able to hide in there, and you can tell where he's chewed up a little bit or laid an egg, and there was a little larvae in there. And I had a couple of those being fallen out into my traps underneath. Now here's a little bit more. Like I say, this is where I had the Hop Guard over it, and there's several hive beetle larvae here. So there's a hive beetle there, and the bees couldn't get to them to get rid of them, to keep them out of there. So I'm going to try to cut that out of there and kill those little larvae, so that the bees can watch over them a little bit better. I don't think I'm going to use any more Hop Guard. They said you should use it for 2 weeks. and in the fall for a fall treatment here, wait a week and then do it again. But it's going to start getting cold. We're going to have days highs in the 70s, and it's going to be like in the low 40s here over the next few weeks. So I don't know that in another week I could open it up and put these in again for 2 weeks. If you put these in when it's in the 50s, I think it gets too cold and it can maybe kill more bees because of the bees getting wet. Again here, you see some pollen. Again, they're backfilling this all section where the brood was. They're filling it with honey. There was a little spot where either the hive beetles were in that, chewing it up, or the bees were chewing that up where the piece of hop guard cardboard was at. Let me just look in one real quick while I'm standing here. I'll close these up after I'm done with the little boards here. Now if you look there, you can see, I'm having a hard time showing you, but here I have there's a couple hive beetle worms that got kicked out and they landed in the oil here. We have varroa mites. There might be approximately 50 on there on this second week of the hop guard. Got some pollen that they've dropped. Just little stuff that they clean out. And these little vent holes under here are a good place for them to dump all their trash. That works pretty good with them. So, once again, I thank you for watching. I never would have guessed I would have done so many videos. But for me, it's something that I can look back next year, kind of remember what's happened during the year with these bees. It's something that the grandkids are watching a little bit, so I've enjoyed doing it. Started out kind of slow with it, but hopefully my last couple here I've gotten a little better at it. So I'm very proud of them. They're a beautiful creature that God has made. So thanks again for watching. Have a beautiful October and fall here, and God bless you all.